Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DCUO SourceCast. I'm, of course, Trex, and alongside me in a Nexus raid is Super Patriot.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Say the world does not cannot be wait to be saved.
And I can't argue that. I cannot. How's the raid going, by the way?
It's good. We're at the split right now. One of the three celestial DPS I'm trying to keep up with just went down.
Three celestial DPSs?
It's ridiculous, man. Everybody's gone celestial. It's so freaking overpowered right now. Oh, I need to stop hitting the thing. But yeah, celestial is like, it needs some adjusting.
Well, of course it does. It's a brand new power. Next game update, you'll probably see what people will call nerfs when they're probably going to be fixes.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to the next tank power, because I'm switching to it.
Everyone knows my stance on the new tank power, and everyone knows what I want, and what I want Trex gets. So,
yeah, okay.
They do. The devs listen, and I'm really happy about that.
You didn't get enough money from your Kickstarter to go to the Bunny Ranch when we were in Vegas, so
it's like I even had time. Like I had time in Vegas to do anything besides what we did like night one. And even going to Eli Roth's Goratorium with the devs was fantastic. Mm-hmm. If that's all I could take away from the trip, I'm good with that. But all right, so I tell you what, when it hurts me a little bit when I come up with a great show format, some great discussion topics to talk about for the show. I came up with them like around Tuesday. All right, I was really happy with around Tuesday. Wednesday, picking up just a little here and there, but I had a really good show. Of course, in good fashion, Jens Anderson comes onto the forums, says one thing, and then a whole new thread gets created about that thing, and I have to throw away my show format. Because this has to be talked about all night long.
No, I don't know about all night, dude. Come on now.
Okay, not for the next hour or two. How about that? We okay with that? Next hour or two?
Yeah, next hour or so.
Yeah. So, it is right now up to 39 pages long. Actually, I'll even refresh real fast. It's at 39 when I last looked, which was about maybe a couple of seconds ago. It is still at 39. It's still at 39. And I'm hoping the guy didn't get locked or anything. Because, okay, it's all good. Looks like it's all good. Yeah, I can still reply. Okay. 39 pages. Holy crap. And this was all I can pretty much in the span of 12 hours. And you know what? I read every single page. Every single page. It was crazy. It was just crazy. And yes, it was in fact this announcement. Or this little, not even announcement, it was pretty much, it was said in another thread. And it was brought over to create a brand new thread. And it was Jens Anderson coming in talking about, let me actually pull up what he actually said, and what everybody's pretty much already talking about. It's these feats that can be purchased, that can be unlocked by alts. That's pretty much it. And he won't have final details to share, but he's hoping that this comes out around Game Update 32 or 33. So we're possibly looking at maybe beginning of next year.
December or January, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're still waiting for Game Update 31, which Mepps, of course, poked that he was going to talk a little bit about tonight, but he wasn't even on the show, which is quite odd. But Mepps has other stuff to do. Can't hate on that.
We should see if he wants to come on here. Talk about it on here.
I type it in chat. I told him, it's like, hey, if you want to come on to the show, huh? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I could definitely set some time aside for Camp Day 31 stuff. I could definitely do that. So, let me start off with this, that Super Patriot, how many alts do you have?
15 now.
Yeah, 15 now.
Yes.
I think I'm at like that 12 or 13. That's wow. All my characters, 12 or 13. I can't really, I'll have to log in because I can't really remember. But I mean, I have a lot. So, and players have been making threads nonstop for maybe the past year asking for account-bound skill points. Account-bound feats. And
No, they've been asking for account-bound skill points.
they haven't been doing feats? I thought that feats was at least one time.
No, it's always been account-bound skill points.
Okay. Well, we don't have account-bound skill points. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, we don't have that.
And that's definitely the first thing I want to address with everyone listening, is that this is not purchasing feats. This is not.
No.
This is not account-bound skill points. It's not account-bound feats. This is not those. What this is, and I think the best term that we can go with is we can either call it shared feats or, better yet, unlockable feats. Unlockable feats
like
sounds.
Shared feats. I like shared feats.
I like unlockable, so we'll combine it and make it unlockable shared feats.
There you go.
Okay, I can go with that. So while we're discussing this, I'll try and pay attention to chat a little bit and try to answer any questions that you guys might have, and I can answer to my guesstimation best of ability. But I'm going to try and make sure I keep the discussion going as much as I can. So I started taking notes probably around page 6 because I was at work today and because I did not do them last night when I was reading all this. So I read it today. We'll start with page 6 and try to take as many notes as I possibly can, especially from other people. So you're also going to hear some quotes, not large quotes, but try to summarize quotes from players in the forums, because a lot of people made good arguments. A lot of people made great suggestions and all that stuff. And I want to make sure I at least give those people recognition that they deserve to bring this up, or we are going to pretty much just not argue it, but try to break it down and see where this person has an issue with it. I could have, of course, replied onto the forums, but like I said, 39 pages. I started with page 6. I was not going to just start replying, and I was going to end up all the way to the end of the whole thing. This wasn't going to happen. But
I just stayed out of it.
Stayed
out of it.
Yeah,
there was no way.
Yeah, I made notes, and I sent them to Super Patriot because I'm a good friend. And this is probably the best representation of an unlockable shared feat, of a shared feat thing, because Super Patriot is my alt, and I did all this work, and so I shared it with him. I think that's a good analogy, isn't it? At least I'm stretching it. I'm trying.
Just a little bit, maybe, but yeah,
it's close enough. So let me start off with some notes that I want to point out first. And first up, it took page 6 to just start going downhill with the first words of saying it's pay to win. It's pay to win. It's not pay to win.
No, I mean all right. This is the definition of pay to win. Okay, they take the best gear that you could possibly get and they put it on the marketplace. All right, and people can buy it off the marketplace. That's pay to win. All right. In this, all right, you still have to get the feats. You have to get the feats. It's not like, you roll up a new tune and then it's your first tune ever and you don't have the 500 challenges done on any of your tunes. You can't purchase that feat because you haven't completed that feat out. So it's not pay to win.
That's right. As long as you have a character, and that's the thing. It's like we people in the thread and even us, we kept saying that it's like alts this and alts that. It's actually more or less a character. If you have a character that has a feat done and your other character does not, you can go to that other character and pretty much unlock that feat for him, and boom, he has it. Boom. Like if I have character A has the 500 challenges feat done, and character B doesn't, boom, character B can unlock it and done. That's where it is. It's not just about what determines your main and what determines your alt. It's your characters on everything here. Okay. I like Jens' phrasing with this. It's not pay to win, it's pay to replicate. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly that. And the thought process behind them wanting to do this is the fact that we have our characters that have, especially our mains, have done all of these feats. We've done them all. And then we go to our alts, and you know what? Even for me with all my alts that I love to play, it does get a little frustrating that, yeah, I have to go do this. I have to do these whole long, grindy 250 alerts, 250 duos, missions, or all this stuff. It's like, oh my god, it's so tiresome. It's for those players. It's for those. And it's not a mandatory thing. It's an option. I can choose not to unlock a feat for another character. I can choose that. It's not going to hurt. If I want to do it for one character, I don't have to do it for the rest. I just don't. So, and another thing is in the threads, in the thread itself, was players kept referring to buying skill points. You're not buying skill points. You're unlocking feats that go towards skill points. Buying skill points, when you're using that phrase of buying skill points, that's giving the reader, whoever's reading it, the fact that it's like, wait, we can go to the marketplace and buy skill points? How much? Huh? How much? Open up the wallet, grab the credit card, ching, ching, how much? No, you're not buying skill points. You're buying the feats that go up, that go towards the skill points. You still have to unlock those feats. And even so, you still have to have a character who has unlocked those feats. Boom! Done! And especially with everyone wanting to go into these threads and reply, and even for any thread you reply to, if you seem like you're getting into a heated discussion with anyone, and this goes for players and the green names as well, because I have to agree with Chris. You gotta take a breath. You gotta step back, take a breath, maybe a couple of more breaths, drink some coffee, have another breath, and then you can go and reply. You just got to back up and calm down with this stuff. There's no reason to get really so heated about it. And of course, we all understand compassion behind what you're saying, but it also does come off as It comes off kind of rude sometimes. And you when we saw it with everybody. Another thing is that they have not stated which feats are going to be part of this program. So again, there's no reason to freak out. They haven't released any information, and the fact that they haven't released any information is because it's still internally. It's still stuff that they're trying to discuss. They're still trying to discuss to make sure that what's feasible and what's not. I mean, and later in the show, we're actually going to go into talk about what we feel should be allowed in this list and what shouldn't. What we feel, because I mean, we're just like the community. We have to give our reasons here. So, and yeah, just like Brittany said, your tune also has to meet the CR requirements of the feat you want to unlock. I mean, you're not going to be a fresh level 30 and all of a sudden get a feat that belongs to like a CR 86 alert. It's not going to happen. You're just not. You have to get your feat. You're also not going to jump off the Brainiac ship with 75 skill points because you completed all those feats. It's not going to happen. You have to most likely be level 30 in order to unlock these feats, which is very reasonable. Very. I'm okay with a fresh level 30 coming out with more than enough skill points as long as they can unlock it. And also I want to point out that it was Jeff over at on my Twitter. He tweeted me that he found that Mepps said, or at least got Mepps to say, that when using this as an example, if you unlock the 500 challenges feat, that does not mean that you have unlocked the 250 as well. That's a separate feat that you have to unlock. So you're not going to get the 250, the 100 at the same time. You have to unlock those individually. What do you think on that?
Well, I mean, honestly, run that down one more time for me, though, just so I'm sure I'm clear on that.
All right, so you especially, you completed 500 challenges, okay?
Right.
You completed that feat. You unlock that feat for your alt. That does not mean that you unlocked the 250 feet that was beforehand.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You have
Yeah.
to unlock each individual feat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but I mean, and that adds up. It adds up. I mean, what you said before about not buying skill points. I mean, you're buying feats. I mean, technically speaking, I mean, it can be considered. You're buying skill points. But the thing is, though, like you said, you have to have those freaking feats done on a tune. You had to have put them down. You had to have completed them. So it's not like like I said, buying the 500 challenge feat on your tune, and you haven't completed that feat out at all. It's not like that at all.
No. Now, and one of the number one questions coming through the forums about this that Aaron Arrow points in the chat: does this apply to style feats? They have not announced which feats are going to be part of this unlockable thing. They have not yet. I know for one, I think a majority of everyone out there on the forums agree with me that we do not want the style feats associated with this, because you shouldn't have a style. You shouldn't have access to the style feat on alt if that alt does not have that style. I mean, that's how I feel. I think a majority of the people on the forums feel that way as well, because people keep bringing it up, of course. So,
right.
I have a quote here. I don't know. I know. I forgot who actually said this, but here's a quote that came from the forums that I agree, but it seems as though you gentlemen measure 20 times, then retire to the lounge to discuss the tape measure and its place in the broader scheme. Many of these requests have been out for some time. And then that's pretty much about... Jens came onto the forums because, of course, he got asked about this stuff, about how all this stuff was discussed internally, and now it's externally. And pretty much, I mean, all these discussions happen before Jens even makes a post about it, makes any sort of whatsoever. And so, of course, this person comes in saying, like, you guys really probably think about it, but then you forget about it, and then you come back to it. And Jens said this. We are piloting and this is actually a pretty good one. We are piloting an ocean liner, not a speedboat, so it doesn't turn on a dime no matter how fast we turn the wheel. We also have to avoid nasty weather and other traffic on the ocean. If I may keep the analogy going, bottom line, we often have more demands than resources, and those demands change constantly based on internal and external factors. We also have dependencies that could be unavailable or non-existent when the decision is made. You'll see once you get into the real world and try this out for yourself. I thought the ocean thing was pretty neat, and
Yeah.
with that analogy, I actually understood their process a little bit more, because not everything is going to turn on a dime. It's going to have to take time, and it's going to have to take resources, and people just have to be. This is pretty much saying, be patient. We'll get this stuff out as much as possible.
Look how long with all the things that they brought into the game, that people have been asking for a long time. So a long time people PvP specifically. I mean, you look at stuff like the 1v1s. It's like for the longest time we only do hero versus villain, that, and then they brought in dueling, so we can do 1v1s. We can heroes can fight heroes, villains can fight villains for 1v1s. And then people started asking about a 1v1 arena to do that in. And they brought that in. Other stuff too. Gosh, I mean, arranged matchmaking. The scrimmages. They brought that in. It takes time. It takes time. I mean, it takes time and resources and everything, and they just need to be able to allocate those to what the majority of the players want in the game. So,
Yeah, Michael Grit's right here in chat. And the invite ignores wasn't just a flip of a switch. It wasn't. It took coding, it took testing internally, and then it finally came out to the test servers for us to look at. I want to point this out as well because Crappy Hills came onto the forums as well and had some pretty good pretty good notions as well. And this is one quote that he had where he's against this because he wants to make sure that players go in there and play their roles to understand it, and people miss out on learning their role / power when they can just cruise by content. And where I have to agree a little bit, but then Jens came in with his response: power respect tokens. And for me, I couldn't even reply to that because that's kind of true. I mean, where do you go with the time that, say, Seer Patriot uses respect token to go to fire to light? And I leveled my character 1 to 30 in light. Who has the better experience?
True, yeah. I mean, I can definitely side with that argument there. But at the same time, though, I mean, experience is is gained over time. It's gained over time. I mean, I've always had the opinion that you can gauge a person's experience with a power by how many skill points they had. Obviously, with power respect tokens, that's changed that. This is definitely going to change it up now, because now I'm going to be able to take like one of my alts that on average have around 35 skill points, and I could probably bump them up to about 100 skill points, and and I may not know jack shit about mental DPSing. Or not be nearly as good at mental DPSing as somebody who's been doing it since launch or for past several months.
Yep.
But at the same time, though, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna. People need to realize their own limitations with stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's not the case with a lot of folks because they'll figure it out. They'll figure, so I've got this alt that I haven't done anything with it's because I've been seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, great, man, I can finally get some skill points up on my villain that I haven't done anything with." Well, I'm hoping it's the same power, because if it's not, then I mean, you need to realize that you can't just get yourself some tier 5 gear and expect to go in the Nexus with your whatever your sorcery healer that you haven't used since you leveled to 30 and expect to do well, because it's all like muscle memory. It's all knowing when to cast, what to cast, and everything like that. I mean, it takes time and practice with all that stuff. So hopefully people realize their own limitations. It's not going to happen, but I mean, hopefully most do.
Yeah. Another thing is, a question that even came on is, will this be truly account based or will it actually be faction based? I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be more or less faction based, where it's going to be hero characters unlockable shared feat, villain characters have unlockable shared feat. The reason being is because villains and heroes, we have different feats. This is also another reason why doing the feat, the faction change token is a hard thing to do, because we can't really equate a villain feat to a hero.
Right. And I think a lot of people miss out. Like I brought this up before. When people have brought up faction changes and everything like that. People need to realize that you switch factions. Guess what? Congratulations, you're CR34 now. Because all the gear is villain only or hero only.
Yep.
With all the tiered gear. Congratulations. Make sure you take plenty of marks with you when you do it.
Yeah.
Because you're hosed. You're officially hosed yourself. But I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, there are feats that we do share. So I'm gonna look. I'm on the game right now, so I'm out of Nexus. Didn't get any plans, of course. But I'm going to take a look at some of the feats that are shared and aren't shared. All right, seasonal feats. All right, we're going to share those.
Well, we're going to do that. We're going to do that in a little bit. I want to get through the discussions first before we go into that.
You brought it up.
Yeah, but not to do now. Fine. We have more discussion.
Okay, well, all right.
That Feats thing is like the tip of, is like the icing.
Okay,
We can't give them the icing
let's,
yet.
let's bounce around different topics.
There you go.
Let's go.
Okay. Shush. Okay. A quote here from Twisted Titan from the forums. I, for one, have wanted to level villain just to express experience the content, but I invested so much in my time in my hero that it didn't make much sense to start over when I could be earning feats on my main. This update will make it more friendly for me to go back to my villain. Well, if the faction thing doesn't really come... Because, I mean, that's how I see it. That the factions wouldn't come out because, like we said, we couldn't differentiate. So yeah, I hope for the best though. I'm not really sure. Like I said, they're still ironing stuff out, so they could probably do the faction thing. I don't know.
Well, honestly, I don't think with this, I don't think they're going to need to do, a faction change token. I don't think they're going to need to, because you're going to be able to, I mean, the only thing you'd have to do is grind up, like certain, feats that are exclusive to the hero or villain side, and then grind up your gear. I mean, that's all you'd have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, one of those alts I talked about is, one of my villains. I mean, I've got my Celestial up to 35 skill points at level 30 right now. I could probably bump him up to around 80. Easily.
Yeah.
And having never, I haven't even run any kind of tiered content with him yet. So, I mean... I don't think they don't need to do that. They don't need to do that. I mean, granted, now I've seen a lot of heroes out there that with names that you'd think they were villains. I've seen some of them with the way they act and talk. You'd think they should have rolled villains. At the same time, I can say the same thing about some of the villains out there. There's some villains out there that are actually pretty cool, and don't really play into that whole villain thing. And act like heroes at times. But, and at the same time, I mean, it's not, change is not just coming in. It's not necessary at all. It's not something that the devs need to devote any time to whatsoever.
Yeah. Question from Bumbling B, because I know he asked this, and even from my EU fans as well. Will this work between EU and US? What do you think?
What if you have
if you have an EU tune, will you be able to share the feats with your US tune?
We see that on PC though, you'd have, if you was to go play on EU, you'd have to make a separate account, correct?
That's correct.
Then no.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too.
Then no, and I don't think it should.
Yeah, because that's a whole separate account.
If I can't make a PC tune, right? And start playing on there and carry the feats over from my US PS3 tune, then why should EU or a US PC get to change, do that to EU PC?
Well, you could probably. Well, I mean, what if you could do it with an EU? Yeah, you can't do it with an EU PS3. I'm just joking.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a whole different thing.
So a totally separate account.
Yeah, it's limited to the actual servers. Probably what I'm going to be guessing with as well.
Yeah.
Yen's here with another witty. Feats are not purchasable. They are unlockable on alternate characters. If you have earned them already with another character, you cannot purchase a feat if you have never earned in game on one of your characters. So there you go. It's not purchasable. It's just an unlock feature. Now, one thing I wanted to point out as well is that, yes, you will be using replay badges to unlock these feats. And a lot of people got mad about that. A lot of people got mad. Because people were like, oh, it's just another cash grab. Cash grab for replay badges. Last time I checked, this is a business. And they need to make money.
Yeah, okay. If you don't want them making money off the game, then stop playing it. That's a guaranteed way of you making sure they're not making any money off the game. Stop playing it. Yeah. But at the same time, don't get mad at them if they come up with things that we want but they, make it to where, they could make some money off it. I see nothing absolutely wrong with that whatsoever. I see nothing. That's like you hire a lawn service to mow your grass, and they decide they're like, hey, we've got this fertilizer we'd like to throw on there to make your lawn look nicer, but it's going to cost you extra for it. That's like you getting pissed off because they want to, you have the option of doing it or not doing it. That's the thing. Nobody's forcing you to unlock these feats on your alts. Nobody's forcing you to do that.
I like how someone in the threads called it, saying like, yeah, we're being forced. We're being forced by peer pressure. And then, of course, and I can't remember the name, but they got cool points for me. It's like, oh, really? That's the stupidest thing ever. Am I going to get peer pressure to do drugs? And I'm going to go do drugs now? It's like, come on. You're not being peer pressured. If you fall into it, then apparently your high school failed you.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I know there's a lot of kids, and I know there's a lot of teenagers that play this game, but seriously, if you fall the peer pressure, just simply, and I've seen it too. Where people have, I had one friend of mine, this one kid, and all that. He got trolled into changing his name just because he had named his tune with a number at the end of it, and somebody gave him a hard time about it and said, just go back to just take that number off if you can. And he did that, and I'm like, why'd you do that, man? You've been known in this game for 2 years as that name, all right? Don't take pride in that name. Don't let somebody troll you into changing your name like that. And he changed it back, and I said, good for him. I said, it's your choice. It's your choice. Don't let anybody freaking make you do anything.
Now, players, of course, have been asking, why don't we use marks? Why don't we use in-game currency? Why don't we use the cash? One reason why I think what we use with the marks, with our rent to our mainframes and everything, I am the casual player. I'll log in, not every day, not run practically most. I'll do a lot of solo stuff. That doesn't mean I collect a lot of marks. I don't raid a lot. I don't collect a lot of marks. I'm the casual player. I keep up with my rent at least maybe a week. I'll run something just to have enough to cover it. And there's no way I would be okay with... again, I'm not being forced to, but the option to, for using marks would definitely be out of the question for me. I would not be doing that. Yeah, exactly. Replay badges are revenue. Another people got mad about us because of the fact that the players have been asking for this for so long. And the devs finally listened. One, the devs listened. Where's my chalkboard? My chalkboard that has that tally sheet. Look, another win in the dev is listening column. Huh. They're winning a lot with that. So, they took a suggestion from the community, and they took the suggestion. Round of applause. They took your suggestion. You should be happy with that. But now you're mad because they turned around and you expected it for free. You wanted it for free, and yet now you have to pay. Are you kidding me? You're mad about that? And another person asked, we need something big. We need the next big thing. It's like, you want the next big thing? You're mad because you're... Well, wrong. What is the big thing that we've been waiting for since last year at SWE Live that we're getting for free? DLC quality just content that we've been asking for and begging for, and we finally got word of it last year at SOE, and we're getting it for free this year. What was that?
Owen Science Cells 5v5 map?
Stop it.
What?
We're not getting that.
I know what you're talking about. League halls. I remember correctly and all that. I called it.
You did.
They were going to, it was the lairs, and then it was going to be league halls. And they announced it last year at SOE Live. And this, we still haven't got it yet, but we're getting it for free. That's major content. Granted, now, it's like kind of piggybacked on everything they've put in for league halls and everything. But at the same time, piggybacked on everything they put in for home turf. But at the same time, it's like I mean, it's still huge. It's still huge. I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's, okay, I noticed something today when I was finishing up my Let's Play series on my villain. I went into the JSA mission, right? And I don't know if anybody's been in there for a while. All right, but when you go into that one part of the mission, when you go in there to fight Wildcat, right? That area looks completely different. That area looks completely different. It's not that that boring beige on the wall or anything like that. I mean, it's
Right.
like it looks really, really freaking cool. And I'm wondering if that's kind of like what our layers or our league halls are going to look like right now, because it looked really awesome. I'm hoping they're big. They're going to be bigger than that. To be honest with you, be completely honest, I really hope they're going to be bigger than that. But at the same time, I think there's going to be a lot of detail in there that they can put in there.
Yep.
But still, a major piece of content that we're going to get for free.
That we are. Yeah.
So I mean,
and that is something that they easily could have brought into a DLC and made revenue for, but no, they decided to give it to us. Now they take an idea of this unlockable feat thing, and they're turning it and putting a revenue behind it. Good for them. I have 600 replay badges. I don't really. I remember, and a lot of you guys have been here since launch. Mm-hmm. What was the one thing that everybody kept asking for at launch, and well into after launch? Because we all remember that when you ran something, it was locked for a day. When if it was a raid, it was locked for a week. You couldn't run it anymore. You ran it, you were done. Then they introduced replay badges. And you know what? I'm sure I can go into the archive section, which I meant to do, by the way. Man, I didn't do it. I'm so sorry. I can go into the archives, find the thread about replay badges, and find not probably the same people, but the same argument that's going on in this thread now. Oh, it's a horrible idea. Oh my God, it's a cash grab. Oh, they're money grabbers. I like that voice. I'm going to use that.
See, for me, replay badges, I never looked at replay badges as a cash grab. I never looked at it as that. I looked at it as, you're kind of cheating yourself out of content. Running content. I mean, because, people would just like farm, like one particular raid or one particular alert over and over, the easiest one to get the easiest marks. Meanwhile, people would, they're skipping, like Arkham, one of the harder alerts out there, or they're skipping Ace Chem, while you're, one of the hardest alerts to do while you're gearing up. People are just, skipping that content, skipping, the harder content, the more difficult content, the content that makes you learn and makes you get better, by using those replay badges instead of running that content, learning and getting better, and figuring out that, I can't just bowl in there like a madman. I need to slow down. We need to take our time. We need to figure out what we're doing wrong right here. That's what I always looked at it as. I mean, honestly, I didn't, I'm still kind of on the fence with replay badges. I mean, the only thing that I really don't like right now that's in the game that I still think they need to do something about is the walk-ins. The walk-ins is the one thing I think they really need to do something about. Being able to walk somebody into Paradox, if they wanted to, or Nexus. I mean, Gates is obviously that's the biggest one people are getting walked into. They need to put.
Come on, you will walk me in there. You know it.
I'm not walking you in there.
Damn it. Fine.
Nope. Not happening.
Meanie. Brittany will walk me in, won't you, girl? Yeah,
No,
you
won't.
will. Oh, come on!
Brittany's not going to walk you in until you get your inventory organized.
Well, in that case, hell no. That's never going to happen. Another quote I want to bring up from DC Fanatical. I think DC Fanatical. I'm not really sure. Pay to win means I have a statistical advantage over someone else because I paid money. True. And if someone else wants the same statistical advantage, they too have to pay or they are SL. Feat unlocks are not pay to win. Yes, you get a statistical advantage over, say, a new character, but that advantage dries up as soon as the new character matches your advancement with time. See, Brittany will walk me in.
She'll walk you in and leave you in there. If I know Brittany.
And I would have just a glorious time wiping, too. It's like, Lex, hug! Boom. Oh, I'm dead. But yeah, just like that. Just like that. The advantage will dry up as soon as the new character matches your advancement with time. With time. Now, I will point out, because there was an argument about that as well, that the new characters, the brand new characters will come in. And the brand new character will come in there with... he'll be fresh. With this feat unlocks, do you feel that the new character trying to farm their own feats will have a tough time trying to get, say, Area 51 speed feat? Because... What are you laughing about?
All right, well, first of all, if you're buying a speed feat, you're wasting your money. All right? Seriously. All right?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm using it as an example.
Huh?
I'm using it as an example.
All right.
I mean...
I would say... Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. I mean, if... if a new player going for the Area 51 speed feat, and he asks the rest of the group that, one, they're alts, so they probably already have either completed or they've unlocked it, they don't need the speed feat, but this other person does. And he really hasn't found any other new players to complete this. Do you think the new players are at a disadvantage because of this unlock feature? Because technically with my alts, that's the one thing I definitely did with my alts, was I grabbed either new players or I went with league mates and we ran and did all the stuff for our alts. And with this new feature here, I can unlock it with my alt, and that means, I don't have to do it anymore. I mean, do you feel like the new players are at a disadvantage as well?
I mean, no, because you know what? There's other new players out there. I actually recorded a video today talking about what to do after you hit level 30, and I was talking about, find somebody else who's out there who's about the same level as you in CR, in skill points and whatnot. Find them, group up with them, get to be friends with them, make a league with them, find other people similarly. I mean, people need to stop trying to compare themselves. New players need to stop trying to compare themselves to people that have been doing this game for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. All right? They need to stop that. Right? That just needs to stop altogether. All right? Because you know what? Those people that have been playing this game for 3 years are always going to be ahead of you. No matter what you do, we're going to be far ahead of you. All right? And unfortunately, I'm not saying this, to say anybody off or anything like that, but to be honest with you, I've got absolutely no reason whatsoever to go in there and get a speed feat for Area 51. I've got no need to try and go in, and go back and farm any of that content. The only thing I have to do are my M bots, my O bots, my CC bounties, and my freaking dailies in Wasteland right now. Vengeance. That's all I really have to do. I know there's some paradox I have to do, but I mean, but that's newer content, right? I've got no need whatsoever to go back on these on my tune, all right, to do that stuff, all right. New players need to find other new players or similar, new players, all right, and group up with them. Stop trying to get yourselves into established leagues, because it's not going to happen, all right? Even if you get yourself walked in, all right, and you get yourself like full tier 4 from walk-ins and everything, all right, and you're still sitting there with only like 50 skill points, guess what? People are going to notice that. People are going to notice it. Even if you tell them, even if you lie to them and tell them you've got 150 skill points, all right, they're going to notice. they're going to notice in one what kind of a loadout you're running. They're going to notice, how much damage you're doing. Right? They're going to notice, in some of the styles that you're wearing. Right? Believe it or not, people look out for that stuff. All right. People are going to know. All right, that you are a relatively new player that got walked in, and got carried, and got your gear. All right, they're not in. You're not going to get into these established leagues like that. All right, there are some leagues out there, kind of like mine. All right, that will take in, relatively new players and all that. But my league is one of the freaking is a rare thing to see in this game. All right, it's a rare thing to see in this game where a league with established players in it now, all right, are going to take in somebody who's fresh off the ship, or fresh out of the Shadowlands, or out of Star Labs, or just got their Justice League Hall Pass. All right, I mean,
okay, so
it's a rare thing to find a league like that.
Yeah, hold on, because chat's getting a little confused here. There's no way to determine in the game when this probably comes out what determines your main and what determines an alt. When you log into character B and character D has a feat that character B does not, boom. Character B, as long as he matches the requirements, say like CR or whatever, he can unlock that feat. It doesn't matter, characters A, B, C, and D all have access to feats that the others do not have. As long as you meet requirements, you can unlock that feat. So it doesn't matter what your main is, doesn't matter which one is an alt. As long as everyone can have access, can actually do said feat, then you can unlock it.
Right. So it's like if I get the Epic Odyssey feat on my main, I can't unlock that on any of my tunes that are not that don't have the CR for that raid.
Exactly. So and that's basically what it comes down to. As long as you meet the certain requirements that come associated with that feat when they release this sucker, then you can unlock it with replay badges. And they haven't talked about what the actual PvP feats are. They haven't talked about styles or anything. All they said, they pretty much just talked about it. They brought it out there so we all know what's happening.
I thought Mepps had mentioned on there, and Mepps is in the chat, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw.
Hi, Mepps. I thought Mepps mentioned on that thread, though, that if you purchase a style feat, all right, you get that feat, all right, you unlock a style feat. You get that feat for that style, but you don't get any of the styles.
I might have missed that post. Not gonna lie, I might have missed it.
I think I saw somebody tweet that.
But honestly, I'm not gonna. If there's a style associated with a feat, or if there's like an item associated with that feat, you're not gonna probably get that item. Yeah, you're probably not, because you unlocked it. You didn't really earn it. But that once it goes closer to an actual date of when it's going to come out in the game update, we'll get better information about that. So right now, talking about specific feat, PvP styles or whatever, it's all speculation that people are just going to throw out there, and that's all it's going to be, is just speculation. Looking at my notes real fast. I think right here. Twisted Titan, actually, this is a pretty good question here. So with, let's say I have 100 alerts on my main, and I want to switch to my alt, and he buys and he unlocks the 100 feats alert, 100 alerts feat. Does that mean that his next alert on that alt go up to 101? I want to say so, yeah. I think that does. I think that if you...
What was the question again?
He pretty much says that if he goes onto one of his alts and unlocks the 100 alerts feat, does that alt now start the counter to 101 when he completes his next alert? I want to say yes.
Yeah, but but that goes along the same thing with the styles. All right, you unlock a style feat, but you don't get the style. If you unlock 100 alert feet, does that mean that your counter automatically goes up to 1?
I would like to think so.
I'd like to probably think not, to be honest with you. I mean, if we're looking at it the same way that the style feats go, I'd almost have to say it wouldn't.
Because that would be kind of rough, wouldn't it? That, let's say my alt has 50. I mean, my alt. Oh wow, man, that's actually is a tough question. Because if I have 50 feats, I unlock the 100 feet, then that doesn't mean I get 150. That would make it a little bit more challenging, wouldn't it? Yeah. I think you're right. It probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know that if when you unlock 250 and all that, the 500 one appears, but does that mean that the actual counter is there at 250? That's what we're getting at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The opposite faction tier styles, we still will not have access to that. That's not going to happen.
No. I mean, that, once again, that goes back to the faction change thing, which is not a necessary thing for them to do if they're implementing this.
Yeah. Very, very true. I do have a quote here that I wanted to, but I mean, this thing is like so long and I'm just like completely skipping it. I mean, it really was just blah. But there was a page I have noted here that I have to go find now. So, let's see. Yeah, and that's pretty much where we're going with, and we're guessing that's big new. That's what we're guessing. Now again, we're all discussing this in honestly a mature fashion than what the forums go. So this really shows that the forum doesn't really listen to us, and I don't like that. The forum should listen to us. We're a good show. We're a good show. We're having a nice discussion. No one's arguing with each other. Michael Gray hasn't stabbed anyone. I think it's a good show.
Yeah. I mean.
Wow. Yeah, I'm. Even this one I even have noted. It's so freaking long. It's. Blah. I mean, it pretty much goes into. I mean, here's the first paragraph to clarify to some of you who have seemed to miss the issue here. It's not about being able to have a way to up our skill points on other tunes necessarily, but that it's not a fair system that works for everyone. And it's a cash grab on replays. How you can't see this for what it is mind-numbing. Those who can't afford replay badges can get their alts further ahead in the game and more quickly than those who cannot. That is a pay-to-win concept, and the devs are fully aware of what pay-to-win means, despite their fake ignorance towards its meaning. It's not rocket science, folks. If the reason the devs are giving for implementing this are the real reasons, then it should be implemented into the game in a way that all players can benefit from this ability, like the one I suggested with converting MOT into feat marks that can be account bound. No. It's not a pay-to-win scenario still. It's not a pay-to-win scenario. And this is being implemented into the game where everybody still has a benefit from this. Everyone does. I can tell you right now.
I don't see how this hurts anybody.
It doesn't. I can tell you right now. When I was first linked it. Who linked it? Was it you last night? Did you link this to me? I can't remember if you linked it to me or not.
Yeah, I showed it to you.
Yeah. And just destroyed my entire night because I had to read it all. You probably gave it to me because you knew I was going to read every single word of it.
Yep. Well, I didn't think you'd read every single word. I mean, come on.
I tell you what, If I had to read a book, I would read that book. 39 pages, just like 7,200. It felt like it was 739 posts. Each of them so long it felt like I was reading a book. And it was so entertaining. I mean, it had exactly what you want in a book. It had tragedy, it had comedy, it had a climax, and now it's trailing off into the end. Because no one can really debate this anymore. And because I feel officially now we're beating this with the dead horse. The dead horse is being beaten with this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that always happens. That always happens whenever you get a heated conversation like this. I mean, people are just gonna, because they can. Because, I mean, people get passionate about this game. I mean, even talking about, some of the people that say, I hate this game, I'm never playing this game sucks, right? They say that mainly because, I mean, they love this game, right? And to sit there and, try and say that, they didn't have any love for this game at all, they're fooling themselves, they're lying to themselves, and they're lying to everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is... I mean, he's looking really way into it, and the fact that everybody can still benefit from this, and even if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I mean, and at the same time, these are your alts. These are your other characters that... And for the people who have completed all their stuff, gotten them up all the way higher to max the mains, no one's taking that away from you. No one's taking that achievement that you did with these alts one bit. If you feel that it's catering to the criers or something, then that's how you feel. No one's going to change it. I'm not going to fight trying to change that from you because that's your personal feeling and you're entitled to it. But for the rest of us, I mean, even me with my alts, I can tell you now, I first read the thread, I was not cool with it. But after reading that initial post...
We talked about this last week. We talked about this last week here on the show, and you were like, no.
Exactly.
No countdown.
Exactly. I read what Yin said. I read it multiple times to make sure I understood exactly what they're doing, and then through all the pages, and last night I stopped at like page 5 or 6. I fully understand the implementation. I fully understand where Jens was coming from, where the developers were coming from with this idea, and I can get behind it now. The initial thought of it, no. Now that I understand exactly how they're going to implement it, how it's going to affect alts, how it's going to affect this, and this, let's do it. And at the same time, it's revenue for the game, which, yeah. And if you didn't want this revenue for the game, if you feel like the replay badges are a cash grab, then there's the door. Or better yet, just go ahead and log out, unsubscribe, do whatever, and go play Call of Duty. Just go over there and play Call of Duty. That seems to be your speed. Just button smashing on your keyboard. Just go. This is a business, and in a free-to-play market, you're going to have microtransactions. It's going to happen. The limitation of how a microtransaction works is, from my experience, SWTOR was horrible. I hate their marketplace. For me, it's horrible. And so I moved away from it, and I came back to here. Of course, I mean, I never left, but I like the microtransactions that are in this game. It's simple. It's not forcing you to do anything. It's not. I'm a legendary subscriber. I get 150 replay badges a month. I have now 600 something replay badges. I don't touch my replay badges. I play, I run my content for that day, and then I move on and hope for the next day. Other players are different. I probably with my 600 replay badges, this might be the time that I just blow all 600 and just fill up my alts. And that's how I feel. And that's how I can do with my characters. How you do with your characters, you can do it. It's your characters. Who am I going to tell you not to do it? I don't tell you guys to do anything besides like us and stay with us.
And hope for hugs on demand.
Hugs on demand. That's a new show. I see Derek up here. You have a hero that you haven't stayed with. I mean, with and like I said before, with heroes and villains, you guys have we have different feats. We have it different named. We have it different objectives. There's no real clear way that we can utilize and pretty much switch them back and forth. Yeah, there's just not. Unless the devs really go into every single feat and rework them to where it benefits an equal portion for heroes and villains, where the meta feat for heroes matches the meta feat for villains, then we can see the cross. But until that day comes, and it's probably not, it's just not going to happen at this time. I can tell you now, Elder Scrolls Online does come out next year. People are going over to Elder Scrolls because of the name. And yeah, it looks pretty. But Elder Scrolls Online, I can tell you now, just like SWTOR, just like WoW when it first started, even WoW's struggling right now. MMORPGs there's a lot of them coming out. A lot of them are going free to play. There's going to be microtransactions, and it's going to be a bumpy road. That first year of Elder Scrolls, just like DCUO, just like WoW, it's going to be bumpy. Just bumpy.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, you guys have any more comments or suggestions about this thing? Because I mean, the devs listen, as we can clearly see, and they also listen to the show as well. And I think that giving them kind of like a vocal discussion about this is a lot better than reading it, because when you read it, it gets convoluted with what kind of emotion are they feeling behind it, and it's also just a lot to read. And I am not a reader. Ugh. But I am behind this. I really am. I think my alts are going to really like it, and I can spend my replay badges now. I think I might have spent one. I think I bought replay badges once, maybe? I can't remember.
You didn't buy the booster bundle box at all?
No, I did not. I didn't have $20 at the time. And, I mean...
Still not more replay badges I know what to do with right now, because I'm done trying to reset freaking Paradox and all that.
The Batman-inspired mask was a gift given to those who were affected by the outage during the first year. I don't think we'll ever... And for me, I don't think we'll ever really see that mask come out again. But I mean, hey, they might change their minds. It's whatever. That's right. Everyone in chat is pretty much agreeing with my stance on this. Have fun. If the game's not fun anymore, go play something else. Until you come back and it's fine again. That's what I do. Last of Us, it's still sitting in its case. I'm only an hour and a half in the game, and I can't get past one part, and I got frustrated, so I turned it off. And she's been in timeout until she feels like being easy and let me pass part. Oh, Hitter, why'd you delete your alt that had the mask? Why'd you do that? Silly. So, excuse me. So, if we're done with that discussion, I do have another discussion we're going to talk about. I'm not really sure how long we're going to go with that discussion, but because it was said in that 39-page thread as well. And let me find it. I mean, it's in my notes. I just skipped it because I was going to say it for the end. Crap. There you are. So someone asked, are you guys having talks about implementing skill point inspection? Jens's answer was, "Yep. Stay tuned for news about the companion app." Now before, now hold on. Now before you, because I know you're.
I did not see that part.
Yeah. I didn't copy paste that. I thought I pasted that on Skype.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. Yeah, you did.
Okay. Before we get into our feelings about it, let me just try to smooth it over with this idea a little bit, okay? The only companion app that I know of is World of Warcraft Armories. All right, this is where I can get this knowledge from. In the World of Warcraft Armories on your mobile device, I can go onto my mobile device and type in my buddy's character name. I can type it in. I can even type my own character in. When you type in the name, it's going to load and it shows up your character. It's going to throw. You can see a nice little 3D image of your character, what he's wearing now in the game. I think it's like refreshed like every 6 hours or something. But you can see what he's wearing. You can see a character model. You can see the gear that I'm wearing. All the mods and everything I put in, all the enchantments. You can swipe over. You can see my PvP accolades or whatever. You can also see my spec. To see my spec in this thing, okay? For this companion app, as we see, we are going to get the ability.
What?
I see Mepps is in. He's like, I did say he was going to leak something.
Mepps, get on Skype. Get on Skype. I'm gonna call you in.
There you go. So, in this companion app, it looks like we're going to probably get the ability to.
I'm doing it.
You doing
We're
it
doing
live?
it live, folks.
Doing it live.
Don't deny me, Mepps.
Wow. Such a stalker.
Really?
There he is.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
This is his idea. His idea.
Yeah, it was on me. So,
What's going on?
Not much, man.
Hey, buddy.
There's a long time
Great.
since
I've
we've
been
talked
great.
talked at all on. I mean, ever since SOE Live, really.
What?
Since we've talked. What's up? So, you were on kind of on FNL tonight, and you were wanting to talk about something you were wanting to leak something.
I wanted to, but it didn't end up happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could leak it here if you wanted to.
I think I've already said enough.
No.
I was going to leak about GU31, but that's going to have to wait until Monday.
Why does it have to wait until Monday?
Connect the dots.
Connect the dots.
What
Connect
might
the
happen
dots.
Monday?
I'm quite interested because
everybody in the chat wants you to leak it here.
well, I mean, the thing is that he did leak something. He gave us the PlanetSide 2 players link here, which I am a PlanetSide 2 player, even though I do suck at it. But I mean,
Let's look at your PS2 player. What's his name, Trex?
Trexlight. It's become a name
Oh,
now.
you can do a character search on there.
You can. Look at this. This is cool.
There he is. Battle rank 3.
3.
Oh, God.
Wow. That's
Wow.
like you killed one person, Trex.
I didn't say I was good.
Dude.
Didn't say I was any good.
Check out his stats.
Oh God.
Statistics.
So I'm guessing, all right, by this, leak, quote unquote, that we're gonna have something similar to this for DCUO.
Well, I wouldn't go that.
I wouldn't say exactly like this.
Well, I wouldn't say that either.
You wouldn't say that either?
I just think it's interesting.
You think it's interesting?
Yeah.
Wow. So talk about invasion of privacy a little bit. I'm kidding.
He's on Skype. He's in the chat. You might as well be in here talking with us.
Well, no, I mean, just characters I have more than 60 days old. I mean,
Oh, you mean the website is Invasion of Privacy?
Yeah, just my total score is 1700.
Since November. You've been a member since for almost a year.
Launch date.
Your kill death is 0.28, Trex.
I didn't say I was good, and I didn't say I was that well of a player.
0.28. Wow.
0.28. Let's see. Let's look some other statistics here.
I play more heavy assault, though. I do that. Jeez. 25 deaths. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyway,
Seven
so
kills.
PlanetSide 2 is a cool game.
It does. Yeah, it looks like a cool game. I haven't tried it. But it does look cool. I've watched some gameplay and stuff from it. Looks really good.
That's that is pretty neat. That is a nice little link. And for people joining on YouTube and on the audio and everything, be sure to go to players.planetside2.com. I don't know what this is going to entail, but you can definitely look up my character Trexlight and see how bad of a first-person shooter player I am. Looks like I have work to do.
But so man, all right, we had all these hopes and everything of a leak, and everybody in here is wanting you to, give us just. I mean, because he's not going to put this thing up on iTunes until like Tuesday, probably.
Ouch! Ouch!
So, I mean, shh. So I mean, you can say something to us, can't you?
No, can't really.
Oh my god!
Gonna make you wait till Monday
Oh my god!
Burn.
for the exciting.
Wait, Monday's a holiday? That's right. Monday is a holiday because isn't it like Thanksgiving for Canada?
It's tomorrow, I thought.
Monday's not a holiday. Is Monday a holiday?
For Canada, I thought.
Well, 14th is Columbus Day, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving in Canada.
Oh, it's tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. Huh.
Yeah, pretty sure it's tomorrow. Tomorrow or Sunday. One of those two.
Well, at least we now know that we could possibly hear something on Monday to start the week off right?
Yeah. Fantastic. I was more excited for right now.
Of course you are.
So
while we're here, and I'm not going to really ask you about anything about what Jens created on the forums.
what I liked most about his thread was like I don't care, I'm gonna do despite the wrath of Mepps and Larry Liberty, I'm gonna say it.
It's like I think he needs to take you out to dinner or something because the headache that's been going on in that thread. 39 pages of I actually read all 39, and I'm still trying to break a smile on my face. It was so stressful reading some of that stuff.
So I mean, I know it was kind of wasn't planned as a release announcement, but I mean, I mean, is there anything that is not in that thread that we should know or we could know or?
Oh, he hung up.
Oh, he
probably.
Oh, okay.
He might have disconnected.
That's
that
fine.
thing happens.
Disconnected or hung up, one of those two. he probably bailed.
Truth be told, I mean it's okay.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
But I mean, hey,
Thanks for answering though. At least you didn't just decline it and everything. Maps, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's what else we got left to cover here? You were talking about the
What was I going on there? Oh, that's right.
Hey. Sorry about
there
that.
he is. Oh, okay. We thought you were oh nope, not answering questions and left.
No, I had to take a call.
Oh, it wasn't Larry, was it?
It was Jens, actually.
It was Jens. Get him in here too.
Yeah, I just sent you his contact info. He wants to talk to you.
Oh, he does.
Oh, he does. Oh, crap. You're getting me in trouble, aren't you? You're getting me in trouble again.
I'm not getting.
So we'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the last SourceCast.
Exactly.
Last SourceCast. Last SourceCast, he says. Oh, I tried adding him in here. Or does he want to speak to me separately?
Try again. Also, you guys should stream the game. Why aren't you streaming the game right now?
Trex's internet can't handle it.
It's not that. It's not the internet. The issue that I'm actually having is whenever I'm playing, I at least load the game. I have audio just cuts out on my end where I can't hear anything. The recording on Audition just cuts out. It's like a whole big cluster of technical difficulties I can't even understand yet. So I'm really sad I can't stream because I really want to play right now.
Yeah, because we were gonna log in and do a GM event for you guys to stream. So I guess
Yeah,
we'll just do it without you. That's sad.
Can you not stream?
I cannot stream. It cuts out like.
What?
I'm having technical difficulties, and I still haven't narrowed down what the problem is yet. I'm thinking that's my sound card, but she's working fine now. It's just only when I turn on DCUO and start playing it because I got like everything going. It just my sound cuts out and everything. I can't hear anything. Audition crashes. It becomes a real pain.
Oh, that's sad.
Very. I'm figuring out workarounds right now, but nothing's paying out.
Oh well.
But yeah, Jens is here.
Jens is here.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
On this impromptu.
Yeah, very
Let's hope
impromptu.
that we could mess around with folks in the game. Sorry. I mean, I could still right now. I'm in there. I could go spawn some stuff.
There you go.
Are you on PS3 right now?
So you can't stream, but you can still play, right?
I can still play just fine, just not when I'm like having Audition going as well. Audition pretty much has the sound where it's nice and clear, but I'm doing tests right now trying to figure out what's actually causing this issue. The game itself still plays fine.
Are you in?
What's that?
Are you in the game, Ted?
I'm loading it up right now.
What were you guys talking about? I'm sorry I interrupted.
We interrupted everything. Chat's probably pretty angry with us.
No. We just got done discussing how we feel and trying to help the DCO community out there understand this, what we're calling the Unlockable Shared feat. That's where we're coining it. We're trying to help players.
It's weird talking to you guys about this stuff when there isn't a crappy buffet or like behind us.
Yeah, true, very true. SOE Live memories.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, well, cool. Did you have questions or something?
Well, I mean,
Well, we've been talking about the shared unlockable feats is what we're calling them.
Yep.
Mostly we've been talking.
Question.
I know you guys have been answering a lot of questions on the forums about them and all that. We've been discussing it, and I know there's some other discussions going on right now, but we won't get into that. But it's like, people are asking about cross faction, type feats. It's like, I mean,
I brought some stuff up with the community council actually today, which
Right.
and we were talking about, or I kind of shared some ideas that we have and getting some feedback and advice on where we should draw the line on the sharing, because certainly not everything can be shared in that way. For instance, the faction, you can't get just because you have a hero doesn't mean we're going to let your villain get all these factional feats. It's not going to work like that.
right.
So that would be one place that would be excluded. And after that, I don't know. We're looking for advice. We're really listening right now. And I think that there are certain things that probably will remain off the list, because people have worked and done some things in a certain way to get their character that powerful, and to, I think we have to be very careful. So I'm not sure what that list is right now. As you know, we're still talking about it, but
Right.
that's where we kind of stand, and that's how we feel about it.
Yeah, because I was like, obviously, because we've talked about earlier. In fact, we were talking about people were asking about faction change tokens and everything, and I was like, always laugh at people thinking wanting to do that, because it's like, okay, you've switched from hero to villain, congratulations, your CR is now 34. Because you have to get all that new gear because it's villain only gear or it's hero only gear. For your combat rating, but I think with this, that's gonna pretty much eliminate any need for any kind of a faction change at all for your tune, because like the grindy feats are the ones that get everybody, especially myself. I mean, I have 15 alts on this game, and I don't put nearly as much time into my alts as I have on my main, but I would really like to be able to have like the 250 500 challenges on those alts to be able to knock them out, not have to worry about grinding through all that stuff again. But for like stuff like feats, for like styles and everything, I would want to keep those unlocked, because I'd want to have those styles. So
Right.
I mean, it's a nice I mean, people can pick and choose and all that, and all the arguments about oh, it's a money grab. Nobody's forcing you to spend money on this, so I don't know why people are getting upset about it.
That's a good thing. You can earn everything that you have. First of all, the most important thing, you have to earn the feat in the first place somewhere.
Right.
Regardless of which ones we allow or don't allow, you have to earn it on a character. You've done it. You at least got the feat. You know what's going on with that part of the game. And then, oh, sorry, I'm getting all kinds of tells right now. And it's like purple everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I forget what I was saying. I got so distracted.
Earning feats.
Sparkles is bombarded. I'm being bombarded by unicorn stuff right now by the Revengeancers. It's ridiculous.
But I mean, especially everybody here in the chat. If you guys have questions, I mean, we haven't had Jens on the show, or Jens or Mepps on the show in a long time. So, ask your questions. See, one person's asking about the development for the PS4. I mean, is everything pretty much locked in for launch?
We're getting there, but we don't really have exact details to share yet.
Okay.
It's close.
Close. Good. And Jens, I noticed you showed us some nice images of Pillars
Robinson
of
Park.
Hades and Pillars of Hades and Centennial Park. That's coming in the next update, correct?
I think so. Yeah, 31, I believe.
GU31, yep.
Okay.
And
Now-
we'll have more info about that on Monday.
Okay. Now I just have one question about that. I have a lair on the Pillars of Hades. Is that going to still be there?
We're gonna
Yes.
kick you out and make you homeless.
No.
There you go.
Listen, that's not true.
Do I get my triumph marks back for putting my lair there?
No,
No,
the
there's-
address will still be there.
Yeah.
They just got moved to one of where the new positions of those things are.
Yeah, the neighborhood has changed a little bit. That's all.
Exactly.
Actually, there's a question here about this. I mean, I know this is we're still talking about everything like that, but say you have two tunes, they both have 140 skill points. All right, but what if those 140 skill points are from different feats? Can you unlock a feat that one tune has and unlock it on the other?
Yeah, our intention is that it goes both ways. It's sort of a pool.
Okay.
Now there's another question here that was brought up. Say that character A completed the 100 alert feat, and then character B can unlock it, and so he unlocks it. Does character B's counter for the alerts, does it now go up to 101 if he gets that feat unlocked?
It's a good question.
Because that's
I don't know
what
if we have an answer for that.
See, good discussion.
See, I was contemplating. We were talking about it earlier. It's like you mentioned, about how you unlock the style feat, but you don't get the styles.
Exactly. If the styles are included, you unlock the style feat, but not get the style.
Right. So
That's
the alerts would work the same way. As, you unlock the 100 alert feat, but your counter would still be whatever it was on that tune.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was at 60. There you go.
It's the intention.
Right.
Anyway,
All right.
As you can tell, we are going full speed ahead with the PS4, and
Yes.
we're excited for that to be coming to a conclusion, because we have a lot of things like this that we're excited about in the upcoming updates. So we're just getting some people winding down once the PS4 stuff comes in, and we'll get right on this and have more answers then. I just wanted people to understand the reason they came up is because everybody was worried about the witching hour and the rewards and all of these kind of things, and people kept talking about, yeah, but that doesn't solve my problem with alts, and there was all this talk about alts. So I wanted to kind of let people know, because I did mention this at SOE Live during one of the panels, and I thought, well, since I was prepared to kind of talk about it a little bit there and just be a little coy that something was coming, and it's coming, why don't I just specify that? And then that spawned like a 39-page thread.
Yeah.
Still going.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
still going. It's still going.
I'm going for a record, boys.
I mean, it's been 12 hours, and it's at 40 pages. It's like I was reading a novel, because I read every single post, because I had to, because I run this thing. All my notes. And your analogy with the ocean liner was just brilliant. That was probably my favorite post from yours.
All right, Mepps.
Yeah.
So no one can see us right now. We are standing in my lair, me and Mepps,
Twerking.
staring at each other.
Twerking?
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to answer you guys' questions. And no, not twerking. We are not twerking. And I'm unable to kind of figure out what to do and where to go. So Mepps, you pilot, and I'll go to you. Trex, are you in game right now?
On the PC, I am not. I can't be on the game because I'm streaming.
Because it breaks.
Because it breaks.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can't not just stream video. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, Mepps, we're doing nothing here.
I see that.
There is a question here in our chat here. They're asking about the app features that are going to be coming out with the PS4.
Yeah, companion app.
What kind of features are we going to be looking at with that?
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm looking at it on my phone right now as soon as I log in, and there's a little DCUO icon, and it's showing me when I hit the button this big splash page, which has this really cool, our new key art on it and everything like that. And then it goes to a main page, and there's stuff. There's a tab, a button for official news, the Twitch streams, Facebook, Twitter, the forums. It'll take you right there. It goes to our wiki. There's wallpapers, so you can connect to the YouTube, and there's going to be guides on there as well. So that's just the home page, right? Everything you'd see, really convenient buttons at your fingertips.
Wow.
Then there's
That's a
another
big
tab.
leak.
What?
That's a big leak. There's some info.
Yeah.
You guys happy now?
There's other tabs with like guides and stuff on them. There'll be some player information on there too. And it'll obviously show you your profile and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I like the look of it. It's got neat style to it. It's done by the same people that did the PlanetSide 2 app for SOE.
Ah.
Very cool.
Is we're going to be able to see any kind of a web-based interpretation of that with like more detail or anything like that for the game also?
Well, I mean, I'm on my phone on the web with it right now.
I mean, bring up like your browser on your computer and all that, and have like something like that on the computer also.
I'm looking at it right now on just like a tablet and my phone. I haven't actually. Mepps, do you know the answer to that? Is there going to be a? I don't think there is.
The companion app would be
there a
separate from something like that.
Okay.
But I mean, that PlanetSide 2 site looks pretty nice.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And we were actually talking about before you got here. You were talking about. You said that skill points. We're going to be able to inspect people and see their skill points now, or at least we will be.
Well, I can't really confirm or deny that right now.
Okay.
Certainly something we're talking about. People are certainly, expressing their opinions about it on the forum. So we'll wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
And and the app right now is only going to be coming out for Android and iOS, correct?
Look at Super Patriot go. You're
he's
better.
grilling you.
Like I said, it's been a while since we've had you on here, and if I can get some questions answered, I'm going to ask them.
That's right.
I know, but your questions are better now.
They are.
Ooh, you're on top of it. Dude.
I'm so proud of
All
him.
right, what was your question? I was so mesmerized.
The companion app it's initially only going to be available for Android and iOS, correct?
I actually do not know about Android, but I do know about iOS.
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not fully versed on that right now. I'm so focused on War of the Light.
Right.
I'm helping creative direct the next 3 DLCs that are kind of with irons in the fire. For concept art, the creative of what we're doing, getting approvals with DC. Then we have the PS4 stuff going on. I only recently put this companion app on my phone, just a little while ago, to be honest with you. So I'm still kind of checking it out. It's pretty slick, and I'm really confident that people will like it.
Cool. Let's see here. I'm looking at the chat here for questions. Now,
Who's out there? Tell me who's out there.
See, Michael Grid was the one asking. He was asking about which phones the app would be available for. So he's in here. He was actually the one asking.
Oh wait, so these aren't even your questions. I'm giving you props for other people's questions.
You guys wanted the questions from the chat, but Michael Grid,
You're smiling and going along with it,
answer this
I'm
question.
so awesome.
Michael Grid is asking here a question I can't answer. The app is supposed to be free, correct? You're not charging for the app, so.
No, I don't believe so. Are we, man?
No.
Yeah.
That would be the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, actually, I remember. If I remember correctly, though, from SOE Live, the app is actually Larry's baby, isn't it? It seems like it, because every time I got into
people want to grill on the app.
every time I got into a conversation, or actually I heard, Larry sidelined Trex for that entire dinner that one night.
So
Just
much
talking
fun
about that app the whole night, and it was really interesting. So I know, Larry would probably be the one to get all of our app questions from.
Yeah, Captain Liberty would be the one for that, for sure.
But as far as War of the Light is concerned, I know you guys are hard working on it. I know you can't give us a specific date, but are we looking December, November timeframe, or January, more likely?
Yeah.
Just fall for the app.
Yeah, ask me more questions about the app or whatever.
Well, geez, what about the new UI? I know the new UI is coming to the PS3 and PS4. Is it coming when the PS4 launches? And when DCO launches on the PS4, or are we getting that sooner
or later?
I actually don't know. I think I've heard sooner, right?
No.
Okay.
So
I said, I just got to. Go ahead.
The new UI is not going to be in GU31, and when it comes, it'll come for everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the app.
No, I was talking about the UI.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking about the app.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The app should come soon than PS4.
Okay. All right. At least I'm trying to think of here.
Michael Gray, of course, comes in with another question. Is Jens doing the voice for Saint Walker?
No. Definitely not. I'm not. I don't really have the Brody pipes, No. Might be some Tio Maro coming up, though, soon.
There you go.
Oh, nice. So I have to ask this only because, if I don't, I'll look like a complete hater. But even though I'm kind of opposed against the whole thing, you mentioned earlier about the unicorn agenda thing. I don't know if you were aware or not, but freaking My Little Ponies took over the SourceCast a few weeks ago. on here because
What?
Trexlight is a big brony, apparently.
I don't know what you're talking
And,
about.
don't make me find him the video and link it to him.
The video? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, really. Don't make him do that.
But
Trexlight is magic.
in all
Yeah,
reality,
I am.
All right, let's talk. I mean, how much pressure do not make that happen?
We're receiving significant pressure from the Unicorn lobby. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna do at least 3 DLCs with it, but
Well, it's like it's like I said.
Yeah.
It's like I said to SOE Live. I was like, give them a rainbow aura and just like that's it. That's all you get.
No, that's not going to cut it. Then I've got a rainbow aura in the game, and I haven't scratched the unicorn itch, and I'm screwed.
yeah. And then if you give a unicorn a rainbow, it's gonna want I don't know, a lot more rainbows or something. It's a proverb.
Yeah, they have a very specific agenda. So, and I'm noticing what graphic you have up right now. I'm finally watching.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's special.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I didn't take
So yeah,
Starlight Spark.
unicorn pressure. I don't think rainbow aura's gonna cut it.
That would be kind of cool.
Oh man.
But there's all kind of magical things happening in the DC universe. We've got a whole mentor dedicated to it, right? A duo of mentors.
This
right.
Halloween holiday event, it's all magic.
It is.
Who's to
Don't
say?
expect a unicorn to come out. Oh, by the way, so I have to tweet out a picture at some point because Ted, I don't know if you've ever swung by Ellen's desk, but she has a toy up there, and it's 2 unicorns, and one of them's there's like an evil one and a good one, and I forget what the good one is called, but the evil one's Destructicorn, and it's all black with skulls on it. Pretty cool. So there's actually unicorns in the office right outside my door.
Well, I did find a dark side version of a My Little Pony picture for Trexlight one time.
He did. It is
I
wicked.
think he's using it. I think you're still using that for your avatar on Twitter, aren't you?
Not for Twitter. I want to say it's still on my Facebook. It's on my Facebook. Yeah, the picture's still on my Facebook.
Oh, jeez.
What?
But,
Don't share things.
What about and I know you guys are working on a lot of DLCs and everything like that. Is there any possibility? I mean, one thing, this could leave the whole unicorn thing too. Is Valentine's Day event.
A Valentine's Day unicorn event?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I'm just saying. I mean, just one time a year we got to put up with it, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
I would be okay with this.
Listen,
Well,
let's put it
that
this
was actually
way.
what we're gonna do.
If you-
Do it because you came up with it. So
Oh, okay.
Now listen, go into the Tunnel of Lust duo in DLC 8, and you'll notice that there's a certain NPC in there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in a cage.
Yes, we've been calling them
and that's
sex cherubs.
telling about the Valentine's Day event.
Yes, Super Patriot found it and made a video for it. I didn't know it was there, even though I went down that hallway. I just never saw it. And then, of course, Super Patriot coined it the Trex Cherub.
Didn't quite have it down. I don't think anybody was really too pleased with it, but we attached so many feats to it that people just, really wanted to see it come back. So we granted those feats and things like that. I think maybe one day, if you imagine War of the Light, it's a 3-part DLC. It's a trilogy. We're introducing Blue Lanterns. You can kind of, fill in the blanks and, see where that's going over the 3 parts. So maybe we'll get back to a Valentine's event one day when we have the proper assets to do it in a way that is truly worthy of, DC and the lore and all that stuff. But that's down the road. It's not going to be this year.
Okay. So Blue Lantern's the new tank power then?
Calm down.
Ha!
You're supposed to let me slip those in, Trex.
Look, in case they don't know, I have already stated that if you guys introduce the Red Lanterns as the villain tank, I'm quitting heroes, going straight to villain. Fire can suck it. I'm going straight Lantern. That's already been.
Right. No, we'll take that under advisement.
I mean,
feedback, Trex.
Red Lantern
Tell us
all
how
the
you
way.
feel.
I am a huge Green Lantern fan. I love the whole mythos of all the cores, but Red Lanterns will always win favor in my eyes. Anything Red Lantern, I'm all there
Mepps.
for.
Yeah.
Mepps. All right. I was just sitting there looking at the chat for a while, so I didn't realize you summoned me. So we're here now, by the way. We're somewhere in the game. There's a couple of people that saw me. And I got to find my papers, dude. Why don't you spawn a couple things?
I don't have my papers with me.
What? What is happening of us? We suck.
We're not. Remember that day I asked you for all these numbers to put in the toolbox, as I refer to it?
Dude, I don't even want to know.
And you were
what
like,
went wrong.
no, I'm not going to give these to you because I'm mean and stuff.
I read
Guess
every
what?
single one of them to you in person, lovingly over the Skype one night.
While I was at home and not near the toolbox. So now the tools are not in the toolbox.
What, you don't have opposable thumbs? You can't pick up a piece of paper?
I could have, but I didn't.
Walk into the office? Are your arms that thin that you can't wield a piece of paper from the office, from your home?
Well, yeah.
Mepps called me a jerk tonight on text.
Kind of a jerk. After you were doing the impression of my voice.
Oh, that's what it was about? I didn't know. There were so many times I was being a jerk to you that I couldn't pin it down. Now I'm glad.
Such a loving relationship.
Yeah. I need to go drown my sorrow in alcohol, so I need to get out of here.
I'm going to spawn a level 100 penguin just out of the blue.
There he goes. I wish you guys were streaming this because it's really hilarious. You find the AFK people standing at the mailbox trying to open stuff, and it's like, bam, penguin on you, level 100. Try to survive.
You guys should give me and Trex some tools to do that sometime.
Calm down.
That is
Here he
probably
is.
not gonna happen.
Level 100 penguin just killing people left and right now.
I think you need to drop some monkeys on him too.
Oh boy, this is funny.
Well, for you guys who are not online right now, get onto the US. You're on USPC.
Yep, USPC
Yeah.
Watchtower.
USPC Watchtower. Go take out a pingbot.
If you
it's
can.
not a pink bot. It's penguin.
Oh, it's actually penguin.
yeah,
oh,
level
well,
100 raid boss.
Yeah, go take him out if you can.
Bring friends.
Yes.
Friends.
I think I'm gonna have to jump on that as soon as the stream's
I
over.
do have to take off, so I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer and bail on you guys.
That's all right.
All right.
It's okay.
It was very impromptu. I appreciate you stopping by, Mepps. Appreciate
Oh,
you
yeah.
actually picking up the phone.
No, that-
Add you to the call.
I think we've done an okay job of leaking some information, but still keeping our jobs. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
probably a good idea if I leave too.
Yeah.
Dead Meat didn't burst into the phone call, so I mean, I think we're all right.
We're all right. We're okay.
Well, thank you both so much for joining on the show.
For
Great to see you guys again.
These people are getting annihilated right now.
yeah, thanks for doing this show. I know a lot of people listen, a lot of people appreciate it. We certainly appreciate it too. So
Yeah.
Fun doing it.
keep it up.
I
It's
agree.
always great to have you guys come by. You get you guys on here more often.
Yeah, we should, especially once you can stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you get that worked out?
I will. It's on
All
the
right.
top of my list. All right, night, guys.
All right, guys, thanks. I'm gonna check
All right,
out too.
thanks.
I'm gonna keep messing with people on various servers
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Night.
later.
So yeah,
Terrific.
never doubt my spontaneity and impetuousness.
That is very correct. Very correct.
You know what I mean? It just made sense. I mean, he's in the chat talking to people, and I was like, let's get him in the call. If he's on Skype, let's get him in the call. And
Just
sure
grab
enough,
him.
He was on Skype.
He'll learn next time, won't he?
Yeah, he's gonna. Nope. Find out. Nope. Not home.
Well, there you go. For a show that I did not even expect to make that left turn. We got some great information from those two. Monday we're gonna hear some information about Game Update 31. Cannot wait. We of course saw the pictures that Jens posted on his Twitter for that was Robinson Park, right? The Pillars of Hades.
Robinson and Centennial Park. As a matter of fact, I have he posted them up on his channel, but I posted up some on mine as well. I actually took his videos and I did a little commentary video on it. I need to release that video out, but. You can check out Jens's channel. It's Jens Anderson on YouTube.
Jens Anderson DCUO.
Yes,
that's his username.
Right. Yeah, you can check out his channel. You can also check out mine. I've got both of the videos in one on mine. I'm actually going to release that here in a few minutes. Let me. I'm still in the game, but I'm farming.
Of course.
Let me. I'm going to release that video right now for everybody.
There you go.
I'm really planning to release it right now, but I will do that because...
Yeah, Jens's YouTube channel definitely is going to be pretty much showing all the matches that he does during his pre-show for Friday Night Legends. You can find the pre-show replays over there on his channel, which should be pretty cool. Oh, calm down, Rob. I definitely did not hit the wrong button this time. But I'm now sad because Jens and Mepps did not like that I was not streaming. I'm sad now.
You need to figure out what the deal is there. I mean, is it?
I think it's literally because that I'm actually blaming Skype for this one.
Really?
I did a test with Audition going, XSplit going. I was on my test account, and I did my test with Audition going and XSplit going and the game going. I did it for an hour, no problems. But I'm probably gonna just use a test Skype or something and see if it actually is Skype causing the problems and what I can do to work around it. I'm also gonna try and do a test where I don't run Audition. I just record it from XSplit. You grab the audio from that file and just work some magic or something. But it's hard to edit because when I record with Audition, I'm recording my track and your track. It's two separate tracks, so I can edit it properly. When it's all in one file, it's super hard. So all the typing and everything, you literally just screw up because I can't get the typing and the clicking of the keys and the chairs creaking.
I apologize for the clicking right now with the keyboard. Everybody.
It's okay because I can edit that out. But that was pretty much our show. I wanted to talk a little. I should have actually wanted to talk a little bit more about the skill points thing, about the downside of it, and I can bring that up real fast as we are about to close. That it was when they came out with the combat rating for the game. It wasn't the devs saying how to do it in game, where the devs didn't go in there saying you need. The devs gave you a plateau. You needed a CR86 going to the new raids that are going right now. CR86. Alright? CR86, that's what you need. The devs were not the ones saying you need a CR94 to actually do this raid. That's the community. When we have if we have access to seeing player skill points, which with a companion app I can see it happening. I definitely can see it happening, but if you can see the skill points and players are already asking for CR94, 120 plus skill points. People are already asking for it. That is the community. That's not the devs. That is a community standard that does not need to be a standard. If you're one of the people that are calling out for someone needing CR96 or whatever, then you need to check yourself. If you're not willing to run into this raid with people, sadly enough, you're gonna find people that are gonna lie. People are gonna lie, and then you're gonna be in there and you screw up, and all of a sudden it turns into the blame game. It's not needed. If you're pugging a raid, you already have the expectation that you think everyone knows what they're doing. Most people don't. So you need to get off your high horse and you need to help people. When it comes down to the point, if people are going to use the skill points as another crutch to find those elitist people, then it's the community that is to blame, not the devs. It's the community. The community itself is at fault for that. And I will not blame the devs one bit if I see a player asking for 140 plus skill points for a tier 1 raid. I won't. I'll blame the community. I'll even blame that person asking for such a atrocious thing. If I had the mindset that I used to have as a raid leader, if I could be the raid leader right now, I would gather anyone who had the CR for it, who could go into it, who could queue up for it. I would grab them, walk them through it in a live setting, and we could get it done. But I am not that raid leader anymore. I can't handle that responsibility anymore. Maybe if I do it with like a close knit people, or I'm in a group and I designate like Michael Grid or something to lead the raid, I would do it that way. But that might be something to plan for a future thing. Yeah. And you're right, Quicksilver. Skype just has major issues with audio stuff. It's never happened before until like a couple of weeks ago. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Skype that's causing this issue. I don't even remember ever updating it. But I mean, if there is a fix for it, I'll have to look it up because it's a pain in the butt. But any closing remarks, Super Patriot?
No, I just want to thank Jens and Mepps again for my rudeness, especially Mepps for my rudeness. Just pulling them into the chat like that. But I mean, I do appreciate him answering the phone, answering the call there, and all that, and getting Jens in too, and all that. And like I said, I mean, I tried to get as much info as I could, but I think you need to stop stepping on me. All right, when I slip a question in like that, and all that, you just need to sit back and just be quiet and let them two go. Yeah, no, we're not going to answer that. Don't tell me. Don't do that.
Yes,
because they might answer it.
I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm wrong. The six words you always want to tell a woman to get you out of trouble.
Whoa.
What? I stand by what I say. But I think when it gets closer to the point of when we're going to see more details about the the shared unlockable feats, we'll grab Jens. Now that we have his information, we'll grab him and bring him into the call, and we'll have a nice little Q&A to go further in depth with it. But right now, the thread is still going. I'll even link it for everybody. It was renamed to be, it's called Alt Being Able to Purchase Feats from Mains is Coming. That title is a little incorrect in my opinion, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. But
you can still join in on the conversation. If you have the time, I recommend reading pages 1 through 6 and then sporadically going into other pages all the way to the end. 1 through 6 really had meat and grit. Other than that, it just became a real pissing contest that it just ugh. And you did Michael Grit's right. You did out me about my Little Ponies thing in front of Jens. You kind of demasculated. Demasculated, or is it emasculated?
Well, if you have a problem with being a brony, then why are you a brony, sir?
Touche. Touche. And there is no problem with a brony. Fluttershy for the win. But please join in on the discussion to help Jens try and get that feat for how many pages I think can go. Be sure to always have a constructive feedback for it. Please don't attack anybody. If you feel like you're angry or in a really heated moment while you're typing, take a step back, breathe, look at what you posted, reword it where it's not really attacking anybody. Don't call anyone an idiot or they are, but you don't call them out on it.
And if you really need to and all that, and that's not working or anything like that, and you need a laugh to get your mind off of it, Watch one of Trex's PvP videos.
Exactly. Good idea. I should link that. It's like everybody's getting too serious in here. Watch the video. Sadly enough, a lot of my fail videos are actually me winning. So they're not really fails.
All right. We're rambling on again, sir.
Of course we do. So for the next thing that we have to look forward to is on Monday, we'll get the information for Game Update 31. We have DLC 9 coming in. We don't know when yet, but it's coming in. The PlayStation 4 launch is coming next month. Next month's November, right?
Next month, yeah. November 15th.
Yeah, we're like 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
Close to 4 weeks away, and so we got the PlayStation 4. We got this amazing companion app that we got more information than I ever thought we would. Go Yins. Go Super Patriot. So we have a lot of things on the horizon, stuff that's really quickly. So this Feat thing is just a discussion, just a debate thing. Like Yin said, it's posted onto the community council forum that we have that we're looking into. So we're giving our feedback, and trust me, I have been looking at your feedback, and I have been making sure to point out things that the community that you guys have been voicing. So I'm making sure that gets heard on the community council forums. So I'm trying my best to relay what you guys feel about it, even in this setting right here for the SourceCast. It's exactly what it's for. It's to help voice you guys, give you guys more of a voice than just text. But anyways, just of course the selfishness of crap. I actually forgot what we actually called this because I don't bring it up anymore. But shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. Yeah.
I haven't used that. I haven't used that picture in a while, so I keep forgetting the name of it. Well, what holiday is Monday? I mean, what is it?
It's Columbus Day.
Do people actually celebrate that?
It's a federal holiday, sir, I believe.
Oh, come on. They are on a holiday right now.
Yeah, I know.
Don't give me that.
All right, we're not getting into it. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Shameless plug right here up.
You can find the SourceCast over on Facebook and on the Twitter. Just type in DCO SourceCast and you'll find us. Soups, where can we find you?
You can find me, of course, on youtube.com/thedicehouse. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/thedicehouse. And I'm also on the Twitter at thedicehouse there. Trex, where can we find you?
You can find me in Columbia, South Carolina. Oh, sorry. You can find me... You can find me on YouTube at /Trexlight. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Trexlight. And on the Twitter at ThisIsTrex. And you, of course, be sure to download the free-to-play game DC Universe Online at DCUniverseOnline.com, or go over to the PlayStation Marketplace and download it for free. So, thank you all so much for tuning in for this SourceCast. I was really happy on how it turned out. Apparently, it was 2 hours. Go them. Didn't even expect it. So, playing the outro music. We'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Can I use that? Is that copyrighted?
I don't think so.
Okay. Same place. Join us next week right after DC.
I think if you have to ask right at the end of you saying that, I think you're okay.
Okay. Be sure to check us out right here on twitch.tv/Trexlight at the end of every DCUO Friday Night Legends, unless I say otherwise, which I'm not. So, playing the outro music. We'll see you guys next week. You guys have a nice weekend.
Y'all take care.
That's it. Game's over. Step along, nothing to see. Get going before my good mood wears off. That means now.